it's not just the transfer of goods, it's also the transfer of ideologies. And although it's relatively easy traveling from Pakistan to China and traveling from China, a lot of Chinese people are in Pakistan right now, but we don't really see a mixture of cultures. There's such a big gap between Pakistanis, between our culture and the Chinese culture. And even if we see a Chinese in Pakistan, we cannot really understand their language, how they're brought up. Matlab ke there's Chinese people have this isolation. They don't really have this Hollywood thing that they are exporting their culture and they're exporting their fashion, they're exporting their ideology. And plus, the Chinese people also have a hard time talking to Pakistani people and adjusting to Pakistani people. And they Chinese are like there's like this American level of efficiency, which is like very good, and they have been ruling the world for a long while, and they've been leaders of the industry. But Americans are also lazy. Americans also do not like to work that much. They like to party, they like to do this, they do that. But the Chinese people are very work oriented. And there's someone over here. So my point is
Your point is actually that the language barrier.
the language barrier and Chinese people.
The British and the Americans, they have this one unique gift of language जो कि जर्मन्स के पास भी नहीं है, फ्रेंच के पास भी नहीं है, ठीक है. They have ruled the world culturally because of this language thing that they have.
That's a very big point.
Yeah, now China doesn't have that. I mean, nothing can change that thing. अब ये जो उनको एक civilizational एक चीज़ मिल गई ना, जो language जिससे मतलब that is like यूनिक. तो लेकिन चाइना इज ट्राइंग. मतलब चाइना में पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट जितना जा रहा है स्कॉलरशिप्स पे और डिफरेंट और तरीके से बहुत ज़्यादा बच्चा जा रहे हैं. और चाइना के अंदर उर्दू लैंग्वेज को सीखा जा रहा है बिकॉज दे नो दैट इन्होंने सीपैक के अंदर पेनिट्रेट होना है, इन्होंने यहाँ से ट्रेड करनी है. तो दे आर मेकिंग दैट एक इवॉल्व एक कल्चर बना रहे हैं जिसमें वो ये कम्युनिकेशन गैप को ख़त्म करने की कोशिश करेंगे. बट डेफिनेटली ये उस तरह से नहीं हो सकेगा. लाइक हमारी पॉपुलेशन जो है वो तो कभी चाइनीज़ को प्रेफर नहीं करेगी.
Chinese language, although their courses and the people are also studying Chinese in their schools now, but still I would like I believe in some things, something else ke with the Chinese economy and with the Chinese people, there's a difference between the mindset. I mean, I heard this once that in China a company cannot go bankrupt. In matlab ke in all these countries, even in Pakistan, if you have a big loss, you declare yourself bankrupt and all your personal assets are safe with you. Your company assets go to they liquidate your company assets and they go to whatever creditors or debtors you have. But in China, there's this real concept of shame that comes with what you say ke, with failing. Chinese people cannot really fail, and if a Chinese, like I've heard this, maybe this was the case with Devo, the company Devo, when it went bankrupt, the person really ran away or committed suicide because they cannot say that we failed in a thing. And within the Chinese culture, it's like a real big shame if the person is underperforming at his job. They really take a lot of shame in this, and there's a lot less strikes in China compared to all the other countries. Plus, China has this thing called there's this system in China that the Chinese created, that when they're making products, they like to discuss in the supply chain. They like to discuss with each other, and they like to consistently improve on that product. Now, coming to the culture of Pakistan and our ideology, in Pakistan, people are not like that. People take pride in doing less work and making more money. We're always trying to find some shortcuts, and we're always trying to say that we want to underperform. We don't want to work. We just want the good part. And that's, I think, where the real clash between the Chinese mindset. Whenever you're talking about to a Pakistani person about a Chinese businessman, they'll be like, Chinese people are very cunning, and they won't give you any money. They're like very miser with their money. मतलब कि there's
Like,
a
I think I don't really take these type of things because ये over generalization मुझे लगती हैं, because हर culture में मतलब lazy लोग होते हैं, हर culture, हर society.
Okay, our culture promotes that laziness, and Chinese people take that laziness and take that failure as a shame. If there is a person who declares bankruptcy and he's still a millionaire or billionaire, everyone in Pakistan would respect him. But in China, that person cannot go out in the street, and that person would like run away or commit suicide or something like that.
Maybe that's true.
So I do think, and I
Definitely there is a cultural big difference. चाइना का जो वे ऑफ लाइफ है वो हमारे से बहुत डिफरेंट है, इंडिया से बहुत डिफरेंट है, पाकिस्तान का डिफरेंट है, हर कंट्री का एक थोड़ा सा अपना एक सोशियो इकोनॉमिक पैटर्न होता है. दैट्स ट्रू, बट yeah, yes, you're right, we should improve on that.
our cultural thing. And coming from another perspective, looking from a Pakistani person's point of view, I think Pakistanis don't have that international exposure that Chinese people have. I think if you're a Pakistani and you wanna get a product from China and deliver that product through Gwadar, maybe add certain value, add certain Pakistani touch, or add some certain raw materials that are cheaper in Pakistan, or some labor that is cheaper in Pakistan, and export that thing to Europe or USA. Now we don't have that exposure, that we don't know a lot about Chinese people and Chinese business, and what products are they exporting to the European or the US market. And we also don't know about the US businessman and how to do business over there. Matlab ki there's a very big gap. I believe that Pakistanis can do it, and Chinese are also humans, and they're doing this thing as well. But to understand the Chinese market and to understand the European and the American market and be a bridge between them and add our own value to those products, it's like we need exposure on both sides. Matlab कि we need programs. Maybe if Pakistan could help do this, maybe if China could help do this, we need programs in which young entrepreneurs from Pakistan go towards China and meet their business class, and their business class is willing to experiment with us and give us ideas and invest in us and believe in us. That's the first thing. And then there should be programs that people from Pakistan should also understand the psyche of the Europeans or the Africans, or the matlab ke the scope of it is really big. And I always feel like we need Pakistanis, we